Hello, ladies. Happy Thursday to all of you, or whatever day you happen to be pressing play on this live. I have ladies that have been watching lives for actual years because the content is evergreen. We are all here to craft and work on building some really amazing and audacious goals. And I'm excited today to chat with you guys just for a little while about working on your process and how there will be times throughout your life when you will quit too soon. However, the goal of our learning today, the goal of our coffee chat or lunch and learn is so you have the steps, you have the strategy that you need in order to build and to grow and to nurture your path, your way, in a way that honors your season of life. If you're new here, if you happen to just be finding this live or the content is surging back up for you again, I am Christina Garrett. I have 5 wonderful and amazing children, one of who is bringing me coffee right now. Thank you, son. I am the homeschooling mom of 5 amazing kids. I'm a pastor's wife. I've been happily married for almost 18 years this summer. And it is my honor and my absolute pleasure to be your productivity coach. Whether you have worked with me one-on-one yet or not, whether you see me every single week or you only grow with me here in this container, that's fine too. It is my goal and my pleasure to help be the voice in your mind, reminding you of what matters most, okay? Of what matters most. So I'm going to take a second and I'm going to add to everybody and make sure that we go ahead and get turned up with our session today. I feel as though there's some magic in the air. I feel as though there's some really amazing changes that are happening for us as a community. I know with the Momathon movement itself, there have been some very significant steps and strides forward. And I am always of the belief that you're supposed to take a second, reach out your hand and say, yes, sis, yes, mama, this is possible for you too. We want you to live life as much as possible on your terms, okay? Where you feel like you have a sense of control, like you get to desire and build something new, something epic, something amazing, just because you are who you are and God has something really, really amazing for you to do, okay? So as we build, as we're growing, I want to take a moment and identify together. All right, let's identify together what you're working on and then what you want to celebrate at the end of the year. Okay, what do you, sister, want to celebrate at the end of the year? Many of us, we're not really sure. A lot of us, we are not sure what we actually want to celebrate at the end of the year. So this is my question to you, something I ask my clients often. What do you want to take a second and honor or get thrilled about or excited about or say you did that at the end of the year? The end of 2024 is June now. We're about to be in July. You're going to cough and it's going to be July. You're going to have 6 months left of the year. And when we started the year, most of the time we created a vision board or you made a list of what would make your year epic. Okay. What would make 2024 so vibrant for you that you would feel like it owes you nothing? Okay. Christina, I set out to do something and I did everything that I told myself I was going to do. What would make that real for you? What do you want to celebrate? What do you, sister, want to celebrate at the end of the year? Okay. Because what happens for many of us is we will lose our focus. Okay. Or the list that you made at the start of the year. I took notes for today's talk. The notes that you made for the start of the year, they're going to tweak a little bit. When we begin to realize that building this idea or this thing is challenging, we're going to start to maybe waver a little. Okay. There may be moments where we decide maybe this is for another year. This is for another time. Maybe I bit off more than I could chew. Okay. Has anybody, I see you, I've been that way. Okay. I've been that way where I said, maybe not this year, maybe a different year. And so today's intention of this live, and I talked about this a little bit last night too, is to tell you don't give up too soon. Don't give up too soon. Don't write yourself off. Don't tell yourself that this is too big, that maybe, and these are things that we say out loud to other people. Okay. We don't tell other people that this is something that we're thinking. Okay. Instead, we'll do simple things. Like we'll tell ourselves, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me right now. Okay. Maybe I need to change directions. Maybe I need to reconsider something. Maybe I need to discount the effort that I need to put in. Okay. Maybe, just maybe, there's some things that we do where if we really, really wanted to, we would stay in tune. We would stay focused. Okay. But we, at a certain point, might begin to pull back a little bit. And so today, I just want us to take that inventory. Okay. I want us to take that inventory. And I want us to say, you know what, self? I didn't even know that this was something that I was doing. I didn't even know that this was a place in my life or in my universe where I stopped trying so hard, where I stopped working at the same level that I was before. I didn't even realize that this is what I was doing. And so my encouragement, my admonition, my push to my ladies today is don't give up on the dream too soon. Okay, don't take the towel and throw it in and then decide, you know what, I'm not really sure how this is going to happen. I'm not sure if I can pull it off. Instead, let's just focus. Let's take some tools today. And let's say, hold on, I'm going to tag everybody today. There we go. And let's say today instead that we're going to refocus. All right. We're going to tweak some things and make sure that we're showing up in the way that we should. So if you've ever been somebody that wants to throw in the towel, if whatever your it is, feels harder than it should be, okay? Or it feels like this is so big, and when I saw somebody else doing something, it didn't look like it was that hard. It didn't look like it was going to stretch them that much. So maybe I can go and do that thing too. And we don't take time to do the evaluation and say that the me of today cannot go into the next season, right? The me of today cannot go to the next thing. It just can't. Much as I love myself, as much as I love the work I do, the you of this current season cannot go into the next one. So what are some things that we need to change, that we need to edit, that we need to work on so that we can be ready when the time comes? We can be ready when the time comes, when they call your name, when you're nominated, when you say, okay, I'm ready. There has to be a new awakening version of you that says, hey, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. You can't put your foot on the gas and be somebody that when it starts to feel hard or it starts to feel challenging, you begin to take your foot off the gas. You start to pull back a little bit. You start to decide, you know what? I'm not really sure that this is the right thing for me. Okay. We got to make sure that we are doing our homework. Okay. So today we're talking about don't quit too soon. Grab your cup of coffee, grab your notes. Okay. Grab your notebook because we're going to let this simmer a little bit. Okay. We're going to let it simmer. Hey ladies, good morning. We're going to let it simmer a little. Don't quit too soon. Don't give up on your goal. Don't pull back because it's a process. A lot of the fruit that you all are seeing with Mamathon now has been a part of the process, okay? But my goal now for my ladies is to say, hey, I don't want it to take you as long as it took me. I don't want it to take you. Might have taken me 10 years. It shouldn't take you that long. So now you get the cheat code, okay, to move forward quicker, but it may take that amount of time. You may have to put forth that level of energy so that you can grow, so that, hey, Asia, hi, Stacy, so that you guys can hit those benchmarks, okay? So you don't feel like I'm overwhelmed and now I got to stop, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to say about this, and I'm not trying to fuss, but I'm going to say what I got to say, okay? This is many of us get started. It feels like it's harder than I thought it was going to be. So then I pull back. We didn't expect it to feel this hard. We didn't expect to go through the emotional hurricanes, okay? The emotional changes. We're going to talk about the cycle of change, but these emotional changes, I didn't expect that. And because I didn't expect it, when they come up, now it feels like I'm doing something wrong. My challenge to you instead is to say, no, this is just a part of the process. This is just what happens. This is just what happens. You didn't realize that this is an everyday thing? It's an everyday thing. You didn't realize that you're going to have high days and low days and all the days in between? It's a part of the process. Okay? We didn't realize that all of this was going to come together. Is there somebody here?
Yes, ma'am. It's that guy who showed up last time on your client call. The guy who came into the backyard to look for everything.
Okay, bring the dog in and tell him he can go ahead and check whatever he needs to check. But tell him I'm on the call. Okay. Anyway, gotta love when unexpected people just show up at the house. The gas man. All right, so I think that there's a wide range of spectrums where you get to assess, is this right for me? Is this wrong for me? But expect those feelings. Expect those emotional turns, okay? Expect it. Expect the unexpected in a way that will gird you up. Like some people, they know that they're working on something big, so they come for coaching for that reason. Because I know that my current mind is giving me all these thoughts. My current mind is working on all this stuff. So I need to climb around that by making sure I have this really great safety net so that I don't retreat backwards. I need somebody that's going to hold me accountable. I need someone that's going to check me on my my mindset issues and the strategies I'm using. And why did I switch strategies, right? But some of us quit too soon with things that will actually get us into the next level in the most miraculous way. Okay, in the most miraculous way. So let's go to it. The three things. And hopefully I don't have to go and talk to the gas man about something because they got to check something in the back of the house. Okay. All right, so let's go to don't quit too soon. Number one, you did not expect the emotional cycle of change. You did not expect the emotional cycle of change, okay? I'm going to draw the cycle of change because I can't throw it up here. But I want you guys to kind of take note from this place. So the emotional cycle of change looks just like this, okay? Come down. You come up on the other side. Looks just like this. This is the start of the emotional cycle of change, phase one, up here, okay? In phase one, you get an idea. You are so excited about this idea that you're like, I know I'm about to be the anomaly. I know that my life is about to forever change. I know I'm onto something big, which you are, okay? But at that moment, you don't understand the full spectrum of what it takes to reach that goal. You don't know everything that it's going to take to reach that goal. Okay. So this is called uninformed optimism. You decide to go back to school. You didn't know biostatistics, genetics, and physics were coming with that science degree. Okay. You didn't know how challenging it was going to be. So you're just optimistic, but you're kind of uninformed about your course load. You can bring that over to any vision, any career, entrepreneurship, whatever you want. Okay. Up here, uninformed optimism. As you begin to work on your own process, you step into phase two, okay, which is informed pessimism. Informed pessimism. This is where you have a goal in mind. You have an idea in mind. You have a business trajectory in mind. You have certain aspirations that you want to do, but you didn't realize everything it was going to take when you started. So you slip into a pessimistic mindset of this is harder than I thought it was. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize it was going to be as daunting as it is. Okay. After informed pessimism, you've now figured out what it takes, okay? And it's not feeling good. This feels kind of big, kind of heavy. Everyone else made it look so easy. That after you simmered here a while, you end up right here, okay? In phase 3, the valley of despair. Valley of despair. Some of you guys are here right now. Some of you all are here right now on this emotional cycle of change. I learned about in the 12-week year, the book, The 12-Week Year. You start off with an idea, you're excited. You realize that this idea is going to take more of you than you ever thought. More time, more energy, more organizing your life, more resilience, more focus, more planning, more consistency, more discipline. Discipline don't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So that process of stretching into a new person often sends many of us to phase 3, feeling disappointed, frustrated, overwhelmed, discouraged. Why is this so hard? Will I ever make it? We didn't expect for that emotional flood to come at us at the same level that it is. And so for many of us, we stop right here. This is why I'm telling you not to quit too soon. Many of us, we stop right here in this place. We say, you know what? I'm going to change directions. I'm going to make a powerful pivot. I'm going to try another way. Right here in the valley of despair, when it feels like it's not working, even though it actually is, but it doesn't seem that way, this is where we start to say, I'm going to jump ship. I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to keep the same business idea, but I'm going to change my offer. I have a lot of ladies who I coach who are coaches. So I'm going to change my offer. I'm going to change the price. I'm going to change how long I offer it for. I'm going to start a group membership instead of continuing to coach one-on-one. Everything, will make any change possible in order to avoid the discomfort of doing what we need to do, but doing it better. Okay? Doing what we need to do, but doing it better. We all have these feelings, right? We all go through these cycles where we didn't realize it was going to stretch us like this. Okay? We didn't realize it. So phase 3, okay, is the valley of despair. You like throw the whole dream away. Let me just start over. Let me go find a whole new career. I emailed a sweet sister. Oh my, she's so sweet, about her business. I said, listen, how are things going? She said she had stopped altogether, that it just felt too hard. I was walking uphill. I felt like, I'm just doing, whatever. It's not working. So I closed my business down. And I know, right, that her as a business owner would go so much further than her getting a certain types of 9-to-5 job, like the survivalist, right? In us, I'm like, girl, you're like a couple decisions away from your next level. So a lot of us, we end up stopping right here. And I told her, I said, keep your coaching business. You can still talk about coaching and serve people through coaching while you work your job. I have lots of ladies who do it. Okay. But many of us stop too soon in phase 3. We stop in phase 3, the valley of despair. But if you are willing, many of us quit too soon. But if you are willing to make it out of the mud, to push to the other side, to shake yourself up and decide that you're not going to give up on what God put in your heart to do. If you're willing to be that person and push through here, you'll make it to phase 4 and phase 5, which is achieving your goal, success, your own definition, and fulfillment. You'll be able to build your business and homeschool your kids. You'll be able to homeschool your children, not feel like you're going to run away from home. You get to go to the next level in your career and do work that you love with people you love. You're going to be able to have a vibrant, passionate marriage where y'all like and love each other. You're going to be able to take better care of yourself. You're going to release those extra 20 to 30 pounds and learn to breathe. Have downtime. You're going to be able to see the expanded form of your vision, your dream, that event, that business idea. You're going to be able to see that, but you got to make it through phase 3. You got to come out of the valley of despair, sis. And many of us at this phase throw it away. We get tired, we get exhausted, we decide it's not worth it anymore. It's at that place where we say, I've had enough. Okay, this must not be working. I must need to go a different direction. What if that's not the case? What if that's not the issue? What if instead it is for you, it is supposed to happen, but you might need to figure out some new things, figure out some new ways, okay? So we're going to get to that too. So number 1, you didn't expect the emotional cycle of change. You felt like when you hit the valley of despair, something about you was broken. Something about you wasn't working, or I'm not made for this. These aren't things that we tell people out loud, but they're happening in here, and it's happening in here. You're having conversations about your perfectionism. You're starting to procrastinate more because if I do it and it's not right, then I'm gonna have to pull back. What if I get canceled? Like, we have all of these overflowing thoughts that come with it. Okay. But these aren't things that we always say out loud. Like, my clients may come and we'll work through that on the coaching call. But now you might be able to just see yourself here. Today we're group coaching. Okay. Today we're group coaching. Where you might be seeing yourself, you know what? I do keep going back to tweak that thing instead of putting it out into the world. You know what? I may not actually put a date on this particular item. I might just keep putting it off, hoping to make it exactly what I need it to be. Okay. So we have all of these things. You didn't expect the emotional cycle of change. Number 2, when we say don't give up too soon, did you become a quiet quitter? Did you become a quiet quitter? Okay. What in the world does this mean? I wish I could find a definition for quiet quitting real quick. Let me see if I can find one. Because I think it's interesting how many of us, we will create different edits and different paths. Let me see if I can find a definition for quiet quitting. Hold on, y'all. Define quiet. There we go. Okay. Quiet quitting. Y'all go with me. Quiet quitting is when an employee does the bare minimum required to keep their job without putting in any extra efforts or enthusiasm. Y'all ready? Let's do this. When it comes to your dream, are you a quiet quitter? Quiet quitting is defined when an employee does the bare minimum required to keep their job without putting in any extra effort or enthusiasm. This can include not attending meetings, arriving late or leaving early, being less productive, contributing less to team projects, not participating in planning, lacking passion or enthusiasm, having no initiative, avoiding additional responsibilities, not volunteering to do the extra legwork. So here's the question I have for you today. Did you quiet quit on your idea? Did you quiet quit on your dream? Did you quiet quit on that project? Where you can literally pinpoint in your mind, if I asked you, the moment where you stopped trying, the moment where you stopped believing, the moment where you stopped putting in that extra effort, that excitement, that enthusiasm to help guarantee bringing your goal to life. What moment, what day did that happen? That you stopped moving and operating with the same fervor that you did before? When did it happen? When did you fall off a little bit, right? When did you decide, you know what, Christina? I stopped believing I could sell out 40 tickets to my event. I stopped believing that I could sell out 60 people to the event. I stopped believing that I could fill my coaching practice or have 30 new clients or hit this benchmark by the end of the year. I stopped believing it. And even if you think that you still believe, do your actions reflect that this is true? There are moments where I look at my spread of things I have going on. I'm presenting for Hyatt next week. I'm excited about that. The Momathon conference is coming up October 25th through the 27th. And I have all of these things that have to happen in order for these goals and benchmarks to be reached. Okay. It's my definition of success. I could close the registration now and we would still have a ballroom full of ladies. Right? But I, Christina, realized I have a goal and a specific number in my mind of what my success for me looks like. And I still have 4 months to hit it. Okay. But some of us, we will on accident quiet quit on our goal. Good morning, ladies. Hi, thank you so much. We'll quiet quit. We pull back. We stop trying so hard. Okay, we stop trying so hard. So then, in the midst of the quiet quitting, you will also add more things to your list in order to make you feel like you're not quiet quitting. What does this look like? Oh, Christina, I need to go build a landing page to make these things happen. Oh, Christina, I need to host an event. That's going to be my big thing. Baby, the event might not make you any money. You might walk away with $5,000, $10,000. Go sell somebody some coaching. Go sell somebody a consulting package. Go sell somebody this other thing. But that feels hard. My girl Marita, if she's still watching, she has the most fabulous boutique. She could sell styling services if she wanted to. Especially to women with grown children who are trying to find their groove again. What? I have one of my other clients, we're talking through how she's going to branch out. She has a specific business, right? She is a phenomenal wig maker. She is the bomb. Marita, can you tag Cherry Chanel? But she also has this extra added enthusiasm and excitement and the sweetest spirit and all these things. She's perfect for like lifestyle coaching and confidence coaching because she always look good. I was like, sis, I see you doing this here, but what about this? But for a lot, she was like, absolutely. But for a lot of us, we have so much resistance to the bigger thing, and we forget that that bigger thing is an absolute problem solver for the world. So my question to you is, when did you quiet quit? My question to you is, when did you stop trying at the same level where you said, I'm going to do this every single day, and then you pulled back, and then you gave yourself excuses, and then you gave yourself an opportunity to have it out. Then you gave yourself an opportunity to switch up. At what point did you, sis, stop trying? That you said, I'm going to do this right here. It's going to be so big. It's going to be amazing. And then we slipped into the cycle of change that looks like this. And we started off excited, and then we end up in the valley of despair, ready to throw in the towel, ready to change directions, ready to do something different. Okay? Ready to do something different because it's hard to be right here. It's hard to be right here where you said, this isn't working. This isn't going to work. And you got to find a different way. You have to learn to stick to it. You have to learn to climb over the hurdle. You got to learn how to do it. You got to figure that thing out. Because 90% of people jump ship in phase 3. We jump ship and we say, you know what, this just feels too challenging. Maybe next year. That's what a lot of us say and do. It's evident because we get to the end of the year and we say, you know what? I'm starting something new again. Mary Kay took too long. I switched now. I'm a travel agent. Oh, people don't want to travel. That's what you tell yourself, even though people are on trips all the time. People don't want to travel. So now I'm going to switch over. I'm starting a candle business. I'm having trouble figuring out the Shopify stores and the process and retail. I'm going to move from that. I'm going to jump over here and do something else. Now I'm a social media manager. I feel God calling me to pivot. No, you just keep giving up in phase 3. You keep throwing in the towel and it feels challenging instead of learning to troubleshoot, instead of learning to crack the code, instead of figuring out this other thing. Okay? Instead of figuring out this other thing. Hey, Marche, thank you. Instead of figuring it out, we don't go through to the other side. We don't work through that process of when it feels hard. When it feels like the process is moving slow. You don't work on your own personal faith and belief work and what God called you to. Okay, what God called you to, and what you're believing for yourself. You don't do that work. We don't do that emotional work. So we end up throwing in the towel. We end up telling ourselves, you know what, maybe next year. Maybe next year it'll happen. Maybe next year I'll do it. I'll come back to this another time. Okay, I'll come back to this another time. That's what we do. So number 1, you didn't expect the emotional cycle of change. You're not paying attention to your cycles. Okay. Number 2, you didn't realize when you became a quiet quitter on your own dream. Some of us, we're not employees, right? You may work for yourself, or you had, I have ladies in my community who are working in politics like Marche, or they are entrepreneurs, business owners, lawyers, doctors, educators. I coach all kind of people. There's all kind of mamas. They're all really dope. But when we're building our own thing, especially, you might not have anybody to give you the benchmark and say, this isn't up to par. This isn't up to par. I have a client come and say, oh, Christina, it's just not working. Oh, Christina, this is so hard. Right? And then I get to say, I understand your sentiments. It is challenging. How many times did you go live and talk about your business this week? How many emails did you send out to your people? Did you use, I teach something in to my clients called the 10K email pitch, 10K email strategy. I know for a fact this email has generated at least this much money and has put me in Essence Magazine 6 times. At least you can send it and make 5. How many of those emails have you sent this week? Because what you can't come back to me and say is, Christina, it's so hard, it's not working, but you didn't do the work. You can't tell me I feel like my life is on fire, everything's going all over the place. Did you take that time and teach your children how to clean the kitchen and do the living room and the dining room and the den like I've had to do? Did you slow down and show them what finished looks like? Did you send the 10K emails this week? Did you send 10 sponsorship requests? Did you send out emails to your people to ask people to work with you? Did you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of all the things that I've shared with you to do? Did you go and do them? Then let's be hesitant on bringing it back and saying, oh, Christina, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Because some of us are quiet quitting on our own selves. Yes, it's supposed to happen. Yes. You are a big deal. You wouldn't be here listening to me if you were not a next level top tier sis. But why would God send abundance to women who are not ready? Why would God send you overflow? I was talking to one of my clients about the scripture about being faithful over a few things so you get to be ruler over the many. I was like, sis, I love this bigger vision that you're coming back to our call with. Many of my clients are this way. I love this new big idea. But if you can't master consistency, dedication, and focus in this current season right now with your little, how are we going to be appointed women over much? How's God going to give us a whole lot? If I can't make my marriage a priority now, if I'm not present for my kids now, if I'm in and out with my business now, if I start a project and then toss to the side for something else now, if I lack boundaries now, how does God give me overflow? He knows I'm not ready. He knows I haven't been working on it. You'll never be perfect. You won't be perfect, but how can I be better today? How can I say I'm going to do something today and then actually go and do it? How can I feel scared or nervous about, I got to follow up, I got to send today. Lord have mercy. I got a follow up or two that I need to send today. Okay. And as nervous as I am about sending these follow-ups, ain't nobody got time to slow your roll and take your sweet time doing these things. We just don't have time. You don't have time. Some of my clients feel nervous about certain pitching things and opportunities. I'm like, did you hit the lotto and you didn't tell me? Last time I checked, you're not retired yet, are you? And like, no, I'm not. I'm like, what difference would a $10,000 speaking engagement make for you? Would that be a big difference? Would that like exponentially change your life? Or a $10,000 workshop series, a school contract, a corporate contract, working in corporate for coaching. What difference would that make for you? Would that change? Then maybe we don't have time to quiet quit. We ain't got time to quiet quit. Okay. So that's number 1 and number 2. Number 3. All right. Number 3 is trust the process and tweak a little bit at a time. Trust the process and tweak a little bit at a time. Here is what I think is very interesting is when something is not working, when we hit the valley of despair, this little area in here, okay, we hit this little area right here, we will often look for 3 or 4 or 5 things to change at a time, okay, especially if you have the means to do so. You'll say, I'm a coach, I'm going to use my business as an example. My coaching isn't working. You know, like no one's buying coaching. They are. But no one's buying coaching, okay? So because I feel frustrated or overwhelmed by this idea right now, I need to change some stuff. Instead of coaching for 6 months, I'm going to coach for 2. Instead of charging this 5K, 10K, however much you charge for your services, whatever your services might be, I'm going to change it to $1,000. Instead of this, I'm going to do this. Instead of this, and you end up going through and changing 3, 4, 5 things at one time. 3, 4, 5 things at one time. So what I need you all to do as you will make changes, you will pivot, okay? But make sure your reasons for pivoting are well grounded and not emotional. Make sure your reasons for pivoting are not emotional. Life always going to be lifing. It's always going to feel hard. It's always going to feel challenging, period. Okay? That's just what it is. So if you can ride that wave, if you could just expect that that's going to happen, I need to make sure any changes that I make are well grounded, well rooted in who I'm expecting from who I want to be. Okay. And the woman I want to grow into. It cannot be because I feel like this is so hard. Cannot be, nobody's doing whatever. And then you start doing posts, talking bad about other people for not buying, not supporting. You start crying about it. Stop. Just stop. Just no. I've been seeing way too many posts about people complaining that people don't support them. Nobody is required to support you. People have their own lives. They have their own time. They have their own money. They're allowed to spend and do whatever they want to do. They are not required to jump on your bandwagon and do anything. And that might rub somebody the wrong way. It is what it is. They're not required to do that. There's billions of people on this planet. You can't find 100 people that you don't know and go and serve those people? There's a lot of folk out here fussing about people not supporting. Why are you looking for your family members? They don't want to life coach with you. Most of my clients I've never met in person until the conference comes. Most of the women that come to the conference, when y'all see those photos, I've seen them for the very first time in person. Maybe there's 30% that are continuous. They've been there in years past, and every year it grows and grows and grows. So maybe we can just release this feeling of any slightedness or all of that, and then begin to make changes that will benefit your work, your vision, your family, your ideas, but tweak it gradually, a little at a time. Do not go and do a whole overhaul of everything just because this month it feels like it's not working. Okay, can we just agree together? We're going to high five together that I'm not going to jump in and change my entire business because I had a rough month or a rough quarter. That is normal. It happens. It happens. Now with this current place in my life and in my business, I say, okay, you know what, Christina, you've done the Mama Thought Conference for the last 8 years. Year 9 is going to be fly too. And I don't have to be stressed out about the things. I can choose not to go there. I can choose not to deep dive myself into that place of staying in phase 3 and quiet quitting on my own thing. I could stop the conference right now. I could say I'm only going to coach my clients at the conference this year. That would still be a meeting room size group of women, about a good 25, 30 women at the event that are my clients right now. And I could just close it off. I could use all my food and beverage and just do that. Yes, I could. But that's not what my vision is calling for. Okay? So I want for you as the matriarch of your family. I want you as the visionary. I want you as the dreamer to not quiet quit on your own goals, on your own dream, on your own ideas. Your ideas are enough to carry you. You got to choose to believe this. I was telling my daughter that like yesterday. I was like, you got to choose your beliefs. You got to choose what you're going to believe and focus on. She was like, I don't want to believe that. So that's fine. But you still got to choose if you're going to believe me or not believe me. You as a woman, as a leader, all of the things, you have to choose to believe again that the idea and the vision God gave you is enough. That you got to commit to it because it's enough. Like he gave that to you. And God did not change his mind. When you decided to pivot because you got into phase 3 right here, y'all see it? When you got into phase 3, you started to feel like God had the wrong address when he dropped that rhema word. No, he didn't. He gave you the idea. Now it's your job to work the kinks out. It's your job to focus on what expansion looks like. It's your job to say, you know what, Christina, I'm going to be that next level woman. I'm going to be the woman who says I can do both. I can do my family and love them well and be present and build this goal because God gave it to me. I'm not supposed to throw it away. I'm not supposed to say, you know what, never mind. I got to find a better way. I'm seeing a lot of women who, because of their family demands, right, because of what's on them, they're saying, you know what, I'm just going to put this idea up on the shelf because right now I need to focus on this. I think God lets you focus on 2 things at the same time. Now, this might mean that Christina, don't come into my office area and do lives all day, every single day. Okay. That means that at 8 o'clock, when my last coaching session is done, so most time it's 5, maybe 6. But on those days when my last session is done, I don't go and stay plugged in, clicking and clacking away. I have good work-life balance. I'm going to unplug. I'm not going to stay working and tuned in all day. I'm going to take time and talk with friends when they say, hey, can I call you real quick? I'll say, sure. And then we kiki for 20 minutes and then we get back. We talk business and strategy in our events. One of my other friends is hosting a homeschool event, right? So then we have all this stuff and we can, get back to the day. But I made time for that friend that matters. I see a lot of women saying, because of all of my things I have going on, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. This over here. And we end up building a life where we're lonely, but you making a little more money, but you tired, stressed out, frustrated with your family. You feel like you're still doing everything. It's just not where we need for it to be. Okay. So I invite you to choose something different. And I invite you to not give up on your dream too soon. Don't give up too soon. It might take an extra year. Can you be okay with that? Might take 6 more months to hit that goal. You might not do it by December. You might do it by June 2025. Can you be okay with that? It took me 7 years to have a fully sold out, fully sponsored conference, profitable. It took me time, but when I got there, it was so much more rich, so much more worth it. It took me time to learn the strategy. It took me time to learn the 10K email strategy. It took me time to master pitching and proposals and how to make connections and it took me time to learn that. Now my clients get to do it in half the time, right? But it took me time to master that. Can you be okay that it might take more time than you thought it would? That's the question. And can you commit to not giving up too soon? Not giving up too soon. Don't take your foot off the gas too soon. You might be in phase 3, valley of despair. Don't give up too soon. You might be struggling to figure out your next thing. Don't give up too soon. You might be trying to sort through what's working and what's not working. Don't give up too soon. You might have to say, how do I need to do this better? That's fine, but don't give up too soon. The idea can hold you. The dream can hold you. It can fund you. It can take you places you've never dreamed. Right? Your idea can take you there, but only if you don't give up. Only if you don't throw in the towel. Only if you don't quiet quit on your next level. Okay? Because if we do, then we miss our moment. If we do, then we miss our moment. Okay. And I don't want any of my ladies, anybody that's connected to me here, whether you get group coaching here on these lives, okay, or if you work with me one-on-one or in our mastermind group, which is going to open up again in the fall post-conference. I want you to know that there's like such a unlimited possibility for you, but you have to be willing to say, you know what? I'm not gonna give up on what's for me. I'm going to stay true to it. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to lean in. Okay. I'm going to lean in. If it's not working, I'm going to tweak something on it and go back to it again. But I just believe that this can hold me. God gave me this idea. I believe it's possible. What I see is going to happen. Like all of that. Okay. All of it. So from that place, we get to say yes to the next level because I'm not going to quit on myself. Okay. So that's it for today. One of my amazing ladies commented, she said, Christina, the pinned comment on your thing says January. I have no idea how to get this thing unpinned. I'm still figuring it out. I'm going to go in and delete it. But the important thing on that comment is the consultation link. Okay. That's the only important thing. Consultation link. For women who are, your next level, baby, you already know, like you that girl. Okay. And you're trying to work through some of those challenges that come with pushing towards the next level. Maybe that's time management. Maybe that's your work-life balance. Maybe you feel like your hours are slipping through your fingers. Maybe you have quiet quitted too many times, or you noisily quitted. You might not have done anything quietly, but you are now working through that widespread of this is who I want to become. Okay. That link there says that we have some awesome opportunities available to you guys to help you to stretch yourself. All right. At this time, I am taking 3-month and 6-month coaching clients. Okay. Have a couple ladies who are wrapping up. Our mastermind is wrapping up. So I'll have a bit more of a wide availability to take some more one-on-one clients. So the women who are the best fit for this are ladies who you have an existing idea, business, project. Okay. You're working to build your brand out. Mamathon is no longer discovering your purpose. Okay. Like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. We love you. We'll buy you a copy of Purpose Driven Life for you to work through that. Okay. But we're not really anymore. I don't know what I want to do. Okay. So the women who come to me now for coaching support, for executive level wellness support and time management support, they have big goals and a busy family. And they know that the current version of them cannot push forward to the next one. Cannot push forward to the next thing. I have to tighten it up. I have to make sure that I refine my process. I got to make sure my strategies are next level. I have to make sure that I can expand without burning out. I got to make sure that I'm finding time with me and my husband to just do us. I want to make sure that my family life is intact, because whatever is dismantled now, y'all hear me? Whatever is not working now is only going to exponentially shift again as you go bigger. As you go bigger, as you stretch yourself, okay, whatever's not working now, if your marriage isn't a priority now, it's not going to get better when you stretch. Okay, if you being present with your children now is a challenge, you feel like they're getting the second best version of you. Everybody else in the world, your clients, your community, all these other people are getting the patient, understanding, non-yelling version of you. Everybody else is getting that version, and your family is getting the leftovers. You find yourself up at night because you got these really big projects and these really big ideas. And so you find yourself up at night, clacking away on the computer, trying to finish just one more thing. So this isn't for purpose discovery. Like, I just want to discover my purpose. My clients know the work that they want to do. They know where they are. They know where they want to go. But the how, the in between can be challenging. Okay. So the Mamathon movement is designed. The Mamathon conference is designed for women who have ambitious, audacious ideas and goals. And now I need to bring all of the moving pieces together so that I can hit the goal in half the time. I want to homeschool my kids. I want to take my business to the next level. I want to drop that extra 20 pounds. I want to do this. I want to do that. All of these goals take you on a separate emotional cycle of change. Every single one. You're going to go through those emotional feelings. And when you hit phase 3, when you decide that you want to change directions, when you decide that this is frustrating and feels too challenging, when you feel like maybe this isn't meant for me, I should change directions. I should do something different. Mary Kay isn't doing it. I'm going to become a travel agent, right? Like that whole idea of it feels harder than I thought it was. What happens then? Do we give up too soon? Do we give up too soon, or do we figure out a way to make it work no matter what? Okay, do we find a way to be relentless and say, I know this idea can hold me, it can carry me, it can support my family. I heard that mama, she has such a beautiful coaching idea. And she said she closed her business. And it made me sad, because I think of all the women that I get to be a part of their journey to help them move from one level to the next level. How many women need that? And also how much having a successful business will change her life. Okay. So for all of you who are figuring it out, you're working through to the next thing, you've decided, Christina, I know it's my time. I don't want to wait. I don't want this to become a 2025 goal. I want to work on this now. I need to work on me now. Okay. For those that know that to be true, I invite you to book a call on the link in the comments. Okay. The mastermind is finishing its cycle for this year. We're going to open it again after the conference. So that is for those ladies who want to do a group container. You thrive in a group. We're going to take it up to the next level for next year. It's going to be the bomb. We're going to have a live event for only mastermind ladies in 2025. So we're going to be doing those things next year. But some of us want to have some notated celebrations for the end of this year. Okay. And so I invite you to hop to that link. Okay. And book a discovery call. We have 3 months of coaching available. We have 6 months of coaching available. Some of my ladies come for 3 months and stay for 6. Okay. But what we want to do is make sure that you can start now. You can start now. Like what would cause you to say maybe in August, maybe in September, maybe on this other day? And every time we push back further and further and further, the results that we've been wanting to create also get pushed back. Resourceful people, and I said this last night, resourceful people, those who DIY everything, they take longer. Let's imagine you redoing your bathroom and you're like, oh, I'm just going to do it myself. But you have no plumbing experience or minimal. Then you end up calling the plumbers in. They redo the bathroom in 3 days. It was going to take you 3 months, right? Getting the result faster is the name of the game. And it's okay if you have strategic planning support, that added layer of support to help you get there. Okay. So for the ladies who are hanging out with me now, you're like, okay, Christina, I know that there's something big that's calling my name. I don't want to have any more missed opportunities. I don't want to not be present for the people that matter most. I don't want to wait until 2025 to celebrate. I want to learn how to do it better now. I want to work on me now. There were so many holes in my focus, in my own consistency, in my own quiet quitting that I didn't see until I got coached. It was like, oh my goodness, that's what I do. I started to see my own cycles. I was like, oh, every year, about 4 months before the conference, I quiet quit a little bit. Okay, every year at this time, I say, you know what, maybe this can't happen. Every time. I do it every time. I do it every time. So now I know, oh, that's what's happening. And I'm not in the valley of despair for weeks and months. Okay, that's what happened. Let me just move on. I'm able to identify in my own self what's no longer working and make the change. Adjust my behavior to reflect the expectation that I have of God and of myself for the year. Okay? So if that's you, you can book a call right there on that link or just send me a DM and we'll manually schedule you for a day this week or a day next week. Okay? But if you've been watching a while and you just like, okay, I want to go ahead and sign up for 3 months, you can do that too. Because some of y'all have been hanging out for a while and you've been trying to figure out what you're going to do next and you're ready to make moves. Okay. So I look forward to talking with you guys in Messenger and hearing about your goals, where you're going next, and how we can collaborate together. All right. Love you all dearly from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you guys on Zoom.